So something blew my mind this week, and I'm talking about legit, straight up fucking years and years and years of just assuming something was the way it was. Okay. And
Okay.
never questioning it because just the way a teenage mind works. All right. And then voila, an epiphany happens. I get smashed in the face by a biblical boulder of sorts. All right. You ready for this?
Okay. Oh, I'm totally ready. Yeah, I'm intrigued because there's been several of those things as I've gotten older, like just kind of like you don't know why you thought that way or you never thought something was odd because you've just experienced it your whole life. What do you
Okay.
got?
So 2 weeks ago, we did the good, bad movies that I finally got edited. There were 35 of them. It took me the better part of a week. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was too much.
Too many. But Yanko's submission, Motel Hell, I just went down the rabbit hole, brought up the IMDb, and saw a character on there named Wolfman Jack. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, that rings a lot of bells. For a lot of people that don't know what we're getting ready to talk about.
Well, that brings it up to a broader discussion of public school janitors, but this man in particular was a character.
Sure, but I think most people know the old radio guy named Wolfman Jack, but we had a guy we nicknamed Wolfman Jack that was the janitor. Do we want to get too far into the details? Because I have a really fun story about Wolfman Jack.
I'll kick it to you because here's the deal. I didn't know there was a famous radio disc jockey named Wolfman Jack, and I didn't know our school janitor was named Wolfman Jack after this guy. I just assumed that he looked like a wolfman and his name was Jack and it fit. It was kind of cool. It's like, hey. And I'm going to do a quick screen share here. Share. Okay, so here is Wolfman Jack. I don't know if I can blow that up. Gentleman right here. Okay.
Well, he looks very respectable in that particular picture because when I was at the school, and I would assume that when you were at the school that Wolfman Jack didn't look that presentable to the public.
And here is the radio disc jockey throughout the years, Wolfman Jack. This is the famous gentleman. I don't remember what his real life name was. So anywho, yeah, blew my mind. I went down the rabbit hole for 20 minutes and thinking like, Jesus Christ, I never questioned it. I just, and it never clung to me that the guy's name was Mr. Myers. His name's Steve Myers. And why would they call him Wolfman Jack? Now I want to find out who coined that. That person, I'm assuming it's a guy, could be a girl. That person deserves a Pulitzer or some sort of Nobel Prize.
I don't know. I think, okay, so you and I have a not too many years in between us at this point, but Wolfman Jack was still like he used to do the, ooh, welcome in, my friends, and he talked like this, and he had this real strange voice, and he wanted to get all you kooky cats and kittens out there. All the hottest hits are happening now. Ooh, and that's how that was like his presentation.
Was that a Detroit?
I believe so.
Okay.
And he just had this real, like, raspy. It's still when you could smoke cigarettes in the radio studios and everything. So he was kind of a cult of personality, even when I was going to high school. So it didn't even occur to me that somebody wouldn't realize that everybody called that guy Wolfman Jack after Wolfman Jack. But again, I got to go back to the screen grab you just showed. When I was at Perryville High School.
So for frame of reference real quick, I think that was from the mid 2000s.
Oh, sure. That has to be like
if you dial back another 15 to 20 years, he had less gray, some gray, some salt and pepper in there. And he was a cool guy.
He had long hair when I was there too. So he had like long hair pulled back into a ponytail. He did have the salt and pepper, but he was also a heavy smoker. That comes into play in some of my stories that I have about Wolfman Jack. And he had like that kind of tar-stained whiteness, like in the beard. He had like that kind of brown tar stain to it. And he had that nice kind of, I don't want to, like pepper, we'll call it a pepper streak, like right in the middle, which is what Wolfman Jack was kind of famous for with his beard, which is why he kind of got the moniker Wolfman Jack.
Sure.
And yeah, and he looked rather hairy and wolfish. That looks like Wolfman Jack had gotten himself a promotion at Perryville High School and was like lead sanitation officer and had to clean himself up a bit, which is kind of odd that most janitors are the dirtiest people I know.
Like he was always brooming down the hallways with that big, like, 4.5 footer. Just, I don't, it's one of those things, like, you can never not be pissed off at how filthy teenage kids are, especially when it's not their place. They're filthy when it is their house, let alone not something that they have to clean up for the most part. But a nice guy, always had some change, always had keys to everything you can imagine in the, and what janitor doesn't,
Yeah.
always saw him around. I didn't think he's a man of very few words, but again, man, mine, just, it was like a holy shit. And I'm upset at the fact that I didn't know this when I was in high school. I could have utilized this somehow. And I want to meet the man or the woman who gave him that name.
Dude, that was a name that I'm sure was brought about around a lunch table of asshole senior kids, probably years before me. Because Wolfman Jack, the radio personality, was around for quite some time up to that point. And I can't remember what movie he was featured in. I want to say he might have been even featured in that movie, Airheads, with Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler and those guys. And so that would have even been a few years before me that might have been right when I got to high school. So who knows, man? That was going to be a collective set of asshole teenagers giving him name.
Was he in Motel? He was in Motel Hell. That's right.
That's where he saw.
That's right.
Okay, so and that was what, 83, 84?
1980.
1980.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wolfman Jack had been around for a while. So it's fully possible that somebody in mid 80s Perryville High School lore is the one that gave him the name. And we'll never know. It'll just go down in history. But I'm a little upset that you outed the man, gave his real name, and showed his actual picture, because I don't feel comfortable telling some of the stories that I would have to tell about our specific janitor named Mr. Myers, whom you just showed on the screen with his nice trimmed up white beard and respectable haircut.
It couldn't. Now that I looked the name, honestly, I looked the name up and it kind of rung a bell. I may have heard another faculty member, a teacher, Mr. Myers, and who the hell's Mr. Myers? Oh, Wolfman Jack. Oh shit, yeah, Wolfman Jack. My bad. But I don't know, man. They're a special breed of people. God bless them. Because Breakfast Club, I'm not saying made it, but that character was cool.